Hey, 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 welcome to Knuckle Sandwich MMA. Did that rhyme? Did I mean it to rhyme? I did not mean it to rhyme. I like it though. I like it a lot. Hey, everybody, how you guys doing? Oh man, we have got an amazing fight card coming up. We've got two title fights. UFC 253 in Abu Dhabi. There I go, rhyming again. It's just all coming together, friends. Anyway, I am super stoked. It is going to be a great card. I'm looking at all kinds of stuff happening here. There's all kinds of storylines left and right, you name it, and it is happening. I'm going to try and walk you through some. I'm going to hit a couple of the undercard fights because I think there's some words to be discussed here. I am looking at, in particular on the undercard, Diego Sanchez versus Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews is a heck of a grappler, really, really good, and he looked very strong at the weigh-ins today. Diego, he looks like he's lost quite a bit of muscle mass, and he's definitely at the end of his career. I'm not sure I like this fight very much. It's hard to deny Diego a fight because he's been in the game so long. He's had his ups and downs. He's done really well early in his career, and he's had a change of coaching staff, a change of gyms, different things like that. So he's gone through quite a transition. Now, when I saw the weigh-ins, Matthews looks so much bigger than Sanchez. He's not only taller, but he's just bigger all the way around. Sanchez looked like he was a little soft. He didn't look like he had that determination, the nightmare. When he does his face-offs, even at his face-offs, he's mean mugging, he's getting in your face. There was none of that here. I'm suspecting that this is going to be Diego's last fight. I do not see him winning this fight. I think Jake Matthews is going to run right through him. I really do. And I'm a huge Diego fan. I have loved watching him fight over the years. I've loved his antics. He's a crazy dude, but I just don't see him winning this fight at all. Jake Matthews is young. He's hungry. You know how the story goes. The old lion versus the new, and fighting for the pride. But just based on the weigh-ins and the face-offs, it doesn't look like Diego's heart's in this one. But again, he's looked really intense, and he's lost, soundly too. So that's not saying neither here nor there. But I'm basing my prediction on Matthews and seeing his fights, and this guy is tough. He's a really, really tough guy, and he's a lot bigger. I just think he's too young, he's too big, he's too strong. He's going to be faster, and I think he's going to take Diego down to the ground. I think it's going to be a ground and pound, and I think he's going to end it with a TKO. That's what I think. I think he's going to ground and pound him into submission. So it's very interesting. All right, let's move up to the main card. So that's basically the card or the fight I wanted to talk about on the other undercard, because a lot of these other guys I'm not super familiar with, and I don't like to try to comment on some of them. However, let's talk to the main card. So starting off, we have Hakeem Dawodu versus Zabira Tukakov. And Tukakov came in, I believe, 4 pounds overweight. So that's not a great start to the main card. But they're still going to be fighting. So he will lose part of his purse to Hakeem. And both of these guys are uber tough, super tough guys. Who's going to win it? Ooh, I don't know. I do not know this one. My heart is leaning towards Hakeem, and not because Tukakov came in overweight. I see him as being a little bit faster, a little more agile. But this one is really a toss-up. I don't know who's going to win this one, but I'm going to go into Hakeem's corner and keep my fingers crossed on that one. But it should be a really, really good fight. Very, very action-oriented, super exciting. It's going to be a great fight. I think all of these fights have the ability to be fight of the night, performance of the night. Somebody's walking away with some extra an extra 50K. But I think it's going to be a great fight. Next up, we have Caitlin Vieira versus Sijara Eubanks. Now, Sijara Eubanks just fought not too long ago, and she wanted a quick turnaround. In fact, I think Caitlin's partner fell off for, I believe, a COVID-19 positive test, and Sijara says, "Hey, sign me up." She just finished a fight, and I think they signed her up the night she finished her fight, and she won, and she was a huge underdog. so if she wins this, she's going to be almost in in really good standing with the UFC. So that's going to be really interesting. But Caitlin Vieira is no slouch. She is very tough. She looked a little bit taller. She's going to have a longer range, and Sijara coming off of a win, but it was a hard-fought win, and very, very, very quick turnaround. I'm going to lean towards Caitlin, and I think she's got some great ground game and jiu-jitsu, and we'll see what happens. All right. And then next up, we have Kai Kara France and Brandon Royval. Now, Kai France he's a tough kid, man. He looks hungry. Brandon has a taller reach, or excuse me, he's taller, but he's got a longer reach. He's a lot thinner. He's got that fighter's body though, but France is he's no pushover at all. Who's going to win this one? I think I'm going to go with France on this one, and probably surprise some of you on that call, but I think he's tougher. I think he's going to put it on him, and I think it's going to be a great fight. Very, very good fight. Very technical too. I think the striking game is going to be very technical. So let's see. Can you pause? Can you pause? I don't know if you can pause or not. Nope, I don't think you can. All right, let's see. Sorry, guys, I just was watching the UPS guy coming, and he's dropping off some packages for me, but they're kind of oversized, so I'll just have to go on. The show must go on. That's what they say. The show must go on. So I'm picking France on that fight, and I think it's going to be a great fight. Now we have two title fights, okay? We have the light heavyweight with Dominic Reyes and Jan Blachowicz. And this one is going to be good. They're fighting for a vacant belt. It should be pretty interesting because John Jones gave it up, and he wants to move up to heavyweight, and so the belt is vacant. And here you have Dominic Reyes, who last fought John Jones, and many people thought he won that fight. Actually, won that fight. I am in that camp. I think he did do enough to win the fight, but John Jones is the champ, and you got to do a lot more. You can't just barely eke it by if you're fighting the champ. You got to make sure you put a stamp on it to win the judge's approval. It's not a TKO or a knockout. So and Jan, he was wanting to fight Jones before Jones made that decision to vacate the belt and move up to the heavyweight division. So these guys are fighting for the new belts, for the available belt, and it should be really great fight. Both of them are great fighters. Dominic Reyes, I thought he was going to be a lot taller than Jan, but he's not. He's not that much taller. He's got a couple of inches, but that's about it. As far as reach, I do think he's got a longer reach. He looked pretty thin. He looked good. I don't want to say thin. He looked slim. He looked trim. He looked in a very good shape. He looks like he's ready for a 5-round battle. Jan is a thicker, more muscular dude, and but I think he's ready for a 5-rounder as well. I think there are going to be some heavy leather thrown in this fight. I think that it's not going to be, I mean, somebody's going to go for a knockout because they want to basically also put a stamp on that they are the best light heavyweight in the world. You know, even though John Jones vacated that title, I think they have a lot to prove to the fans and to the world. You know, the world's going to be watching this fight. So it's going to be a great matchup, a great stylistic matchup as well. They're both strikers, and it's going to be a striking match, no doubt about it. I think there'll be some kicks. I think Yan will have to watch out for her head kicks because Dominic can get those up there. But I think most of the time it's going to be striking. They're going to be trying to knock each other out. But it's going to be a great fight. Lots of fireworks in this one. It will not be boring, okay? Will not be boring. Mark my words on that. Who am I picking, you ask? Well, that's a tough one. I think I'm going to have to go with Dominic Reyes because, and here's the reason, because he did, I thought, beat John Jones. And even though both of them have faced very heavy and top level competition, to get in there with Jones and to go the distance and to, you know, win the fight, in my opinion, I'm gonna have to go with him. Logic would state that you got to go with Dominic Reyes, but I'm not putting I'm not looking past Yan at all. I think he has a great chance of winning. He is a slight underdog, but in the betting circles. But you know, anyone can win in a fight. Anyone can win, you know. But I'm going with Dominic on this one. As what am I saying? I think I'm gonna say it's gonna be a TKO. Okay, TKO. I'm gonna say 3rd or 4th round. All right, that's my pick. All right, now on to the main fight of the evening. We have the much anticipated, much awaited, much excited. Oh, that didn't sound right. I tried. Anyway, this one is a big one. These guys have a lot of bad blood. Even during the press conference, these two were at each other talking smack, and they don't like each other. And Paulo Costa said he wants to teach Israel Adesanya a lesson in respect, and he doesn't think he's on his level with jiu-jitsu. In fact, at the weigh-in today, at the face-off, he showed off his, Paulo Costa started tying his black belt that he had under his shirt, and then he pulled out a white belt to Israel Adesanya and threw it to him. And Israel promptly threw it right back in his face. You know, I wasn't taking any of that stuff. So he's basically, you know, dissed him on his experience and his black belt prowess, so to speak. And it's going to be a great fight. Both of the guys look fantastic. Both made weight. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a barn burner. This one is going to be worth the pay-per-view. So I'm recommending getting the pay-per-view on this one. It's going to be a great fight card, great main event. And who am I going to pick? Well, let's talk about a little bit about the strategies, okay? What's going to be used here? Paulo Costa is used to as plotting forward and throwing punches, getting inside and throwing some bombs. You know, what he did to Yoel Romero. Yoel caught him and knocked him on his can in the fight, but he didn't. He was probably more off balance than rocked. However, he came back and it was a good fight. Yoel, I don't know. I think he didn't really want to be in that fight. But that's my opinion. Anyway, I think Paulo Costa is very strong, and he brings us some powerful punches that can knock you out at any moment in a fight because he throws some heavy leather. Israel Adesanya is a master at movement and distance, and he's really good. He can throw some great kicks. He's got kicks. He's got great striking. His jab is phenomenal. He's a kickboxer by trade. And he knows how to do it, but he knows how to use his range very well. He's very confident. Both are confident, and they both are undefeated. So somebody's O has got to go, as they say. But he's super confident. He's been confident all week, and at the face-off and everything, neither one looked rattled, and neither one looked hesitant. They were both very determined, very confident. So that's going to make for a lot of fireworks. I do not think this is going to be a Israel Adesanya Yoel Romero fight. I just don't think that, because they danced around quite a bit. There were a lot of people were, you know, a little bit upset about that fight because there wasn't very much action. However, this one I think is going to have a lot of action because of the bad blood. There's a lot of bad blood, and somebody's going to want to put somebody's lights out. Plus, somebody's always got to go. So that's you got a bunch of different factors in here that will all weigh on their minds. I think as they step into the octagon, they're going to be thinking about, you know, he's undefeated. I got to get him. If I can knock him out, that's even better. You know, we're fighting for the belt. I want to retain my belt. I want that belt. You know, all this stuff's going on. Plus, I just don't like that dude. They just don't like each other. So that has all the ingredients for a great fight, a great grudge match. However you want to look at it, it just has all the ingredients for a real, as they say, slobber knocker, barn burner, you know, fight of the night. I think this has the ability to do that. Do I think it goes 5 rounds to a decision? I do not. Do not think this will go 5 rounds. I think it's going to be a knockout. I don't think it's going to be a TKO. I think it's going to be a knockout, because they both want it too bad. They both don't like each other that much. Who's going to win? Well, the odds are in Adesanya's favor, and betting odds are on his. Not as big a spread as most people thought. A lot of people thought the spread would be a little bit bigger. But Paulo Costa, I guess, because the way he looked at the weigh-ins, you know, people were feeling pretty good about him. The betting line was looking pretty good, so it kind of shifted a little bit. So who's going to win? Who do I think is going to win? Whew, that's a tough call. That's a tough call. I almost don't want to make this call because I feel like I might jinx whoever I say I want to win. Of course, I could do the old reverse psychology and pick the one that I don't want to win, and then the other one that I do want will actually win. But no, my luck's not that good. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it will not go the full 5 rounds, and I'm going to say end still. You know, I think Israel Adesanya is going to pull this off. I think he has a few more tools than Paulo Costa does. Paulo is tough. It's going to be a great fight, but I think Adesanya has a few more tools and a really good range, good cage movement. Now, one thing that's interesting, though, Paulo Costa said he was not going to chase Adesanya around the ring, and that's probably wise because I think Adesanya will counter him and pick him apart that way, and weaken him. But I still think Adesanya is gonna be still the champion after this. Okay, all right, guys. So that's my show for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Knuckle Sandwich MMA. We're getting better and better every fight that we do, and I'm getting more in tune, and it's getting fun. I'm having a blast. So anyway, like I said, like, share, and subscribe. We'd love to get you to ring the bell, get you to hear the bell when we post new videos, and have fun watching the fight. I will do a follow-up show, post-fight show after UFC 253, and then we'll move on because they're going to have fights every single week I believe for the next 5 weeks on Fight Island. They're going to have fights every single week, so a lot to look forward to, a lot of action, and the cards up till now have been spectacular. All right, you guys, have a good one. We'll see you on the backside of this. Keep punching. Always keep punching.